Greetings and salutations. You join me in my dining room in order to have a look at the British Army that I'm currently working on. It's a late war 28mm British Army using primarily Warlord plastics, and I will be using it primarily for bolt action. And I thought it'd be a good idea to introduce you to this army. We'll run through the different units I've got painted so far, and I will discuss the plans I have for this army as we do so. So strap in, get yourselves a cup of tea. Let's get started. Here we are. Here is the British force as it stands so far. Not the biggest, but I'm pretty happy with it actually. So let's do the guided tour, shall we? Starting off down here, we've got a couple of officers. I find that having two officers is very handy because you want to have your infantry sections carrying the momentum going. If you're on the attack, you don't want to get stalled by being pinned out. So having two officers, just as the leadership bubbles, is really handy. You can carry in attacks on two flanks or make sure you guarantee a central attack going in. Very useful, I would recommend that. Moving on, we have the infantry, the PBI, the poor bloody infantry. So here's my big section. These are the chaps that get tasked with carrying on with the big attacks. And then we've got two smaller units. These are LMG sections. I don't actually run these infantry in this layout. I just thought it looked quite good, quite even. So you'll notice that these two smaller units have LMGs in them. Because one interesting thing I find is if you just take a 5-man section with an LMG, you get a really nice, cheap weapons team with some ablative wounds, which is pretty handy. So moving on, see a mortar team there. We'll have a look at them more closely in a moment. So here's my Piat team. I actually built them out of a free sprue that came with War Games Illustrated. And they like to ride around in the battle taxi, the Bren carrier, or universal carrier, I guess. Really fun little unit, that actually. I get a lot of use out of the two LMGs. And then we'll move on down to the mortar. This is actually an Artisan Games mortar, and I think it's much nicer than the Warlord one. Scales really well too, so I'd recommend that. Next up, we've got the sniper team. I have taken them to one battle and they did absolutely nothing. Rolled 2s to hit every single time. Awful. I'm hoping for better luck with them in the future. Over here we have a number of spotters. So the British obviously get a free artillery spotter. So I wanted one of them. I wanted a spotter for my mortar team. And I also wanted the ability to call down airstrikes. I think that's very thematic for the British in Normandy. So I've got 3 spotters, so I can make sure that I can do all 3 of those wonderfully fun activities. Then we've got the big boy, the Sherman Firefly. This thing has been absolutely lethal on the tabletop. Really fun unit, and I just love the Firefly. It's what you get when you take American industrial might and British ingenuity. And as you can see, the 17-pounder there has this camo on the front, which was to try and trick the Germans into thinking this was a normal Sherman, because if they knew it was a Firefly, they'd focus that down first. There's no storage on this. I do have storage that I ordered, but I haven't gone around to putting it on yet, so watch this space for that one. Moving on, we've got the Cromwell. I love the Cromwell. I think it's a fantastic tank. If you've ever heard about the Great Swan, that would never have been possible without this tank. Super fast, I think 41 mile an hour top speed, cruiser tank. Absolutely fantastic. And a 6-pounder gun is not to be sniffed at. In bolt action, it's fine. It's a perfectly fine, serviceable tank. It's not going to do all the work that a Tiger would do, but then it's not meant to, and it's a fraction of the price. I love my Cromwell. Anyway, that is the roundup of the army. I will put better photographs on the video because, well, the lighting on this is absolutely terrible. Terrible. Professional standards here, I'm sure you'll agree.
I hope you found that interesting, at least partly enjoyable. There's going to be more to come from this. I've got a game scheduled for the 20th of December, which is going to be a bunker assault mission. So I've got a bunker to build, along with all the accompanying trenches, defences like barbed wire, ramparts, etc., machine gun nests. And that should be good fun. And I'm going to get more infantry for this force done, because I'm sure you'll agree that at the minute it's very light on infantry. I got a bit carried away doing the Gucci kit, so I've done all the fun stuff. And I really do need to go back and pad out the infantry now. And that's my plan for the 20th of December. So, looking forward, you can expect to see a fair few videos on the British and the bunker complex, how they're coming together. And I have promised in the past a Tiger demonstration. I'm hoping to get that done. A Tiger demonstration? A Tiger painting tutorial, forgive me. I hope to get that done sometime over Christmas. So hopefully early in the new year, maybe even earlier if I can be bothered. If not, tough. Life's not fair. And the sooner you learn that lesson, the better for you. Especially if you're British, you'll have to get used to that very fast. So there we are. I hope you found that enjoyable, and I will catch you soon. Bye.